Hi guys, this is FD for Sec5.tv once more back with another video, and today in continuation of our ISO 20022 series, The Chosen Cryptos, we are going to jump into Stellar. What is Stellar and what does the Stellar blockchain bring to the cryptocurrency space? Let's find out. So guys, what I'm going to share with you in this video is not financial advice. If you require financial advice, I think by now you know what to do. Please consult someone who is trying to give you financial advice. The information contained in this video is just for information as well as educational purposes. So what is Stellar? Well, Stellar is an open source peer-to-peer decentralized payments network that serves as a distributed intermediary blockchain for connecting the world's financial system. Created in 2014 by Jed McKellar following his departure from Ripple and Joyce Kim, Stellar is based on distributed ledger technology, similar to Ripple's own ledger technology. No surprises here since Stellar started life as a fork of Ripple Labs protocol before the underlying code was eventually modified to suit the Stellar Development Foundation's own roadmap. By the way, the Stellar Development Foundation is a not-for-profit organization that aims to unlock the world's economic potential by making money more fluid, markets more open, and people more empowered. The Stellar blockchain allows anyone to issue new assets on the Stellar network and exchange for other assets via built-in asset exchange features. Assets on Stellar are issued and redeemed by anchors, who are trusted entities that issue digital credits on the Stellar network in exchange for deposits of the assets with the trusted entity. These anchors facilitate the exchange of real-world assets by leveraging the distributed exchange, which maintains the order book for every asset pair. Stellar supports the issuance of all sorts of assets, including stocks, currencies, crypto assets, and so forth. One can already tell that Stellar is providing the infrastructure that traditional financial systems offer, albeit with layers and layers of layers. Whereas with cryptocurrencies such as Stellar, most of these middlemen are dispensed with. So, what about Stellar's value proposition? The native Stellar token, which is the Stellar Lumens, ticker symbol XLM, acts as an intermediary for currency and asset transfers. Stellar serves as a decentralized exchange and marketplace with a built-in order book that tracks ownership of Stellar assets. It also offers extremely cheap transaction fees, and transaction finality is between 3 to 5 seconds, so it is extremely fast to finalize transactions. The Stellar network also offers financial inclusion option to those parts of the world currently excluded from traditional finance, and it also supports multi-currency transactions through its anchors, which are basically trusted parties. One can also tell the success of Stellar and its value proposition through the numerous partnerships, which include some huge players within the traditional finance space, such as MoneyGram, Techstars, Bank of International Settlements or BIS, Central Banks of Brazil, Ukraine, and Indonesia, among many others. Other notable partnerships include Flutterware, Niam, Whitebit, CoinMe, Mikado Bitcoin, and OKCoin. These are all real-world use cases, so Stellar's value propositions are quite genuine, they're quite real, because we are actually witnessing real-world use cases and real-world applications. Now, a look at some of Stellar's architecture. There are 3 parts to Stellar's architecture, and these are the Stellar Network, which is a global network of Stellar cores or nodes, which are managed by both individuals and organizations. Then we also have the Stellar Core. Each Stellar Core node uses the proprietary Stellar Consensus Protocol to verify and concur with other core instances. And finally, we have the Horizon API. The Horizon API is used by programs to communicate with the Stellar network, including online banking systems, payment systems, and mobile wallets. The Stellar Consensus Protocol was created by Professor David Mezires and functions as a Byzantine consensus mechanism. The Stellar Consensus Protocol, also known as SCP, allows open network participation to promote network expansion, in contrast to conventional Byzantine consensus protocol. In the federated Byzantine agreement model used by Stellar, network users, that is Stellar cores, maintain a list of other users they consider important. A transaction is not considered finalized unless a majority of these nodes approve it. The important nodes all keep their list up to date and follow a similar procedure when settling a transaction. Nodes can independently decide how much trust to place in each other, resulting in quorum slices that combine naturally to form system-level quorum. A quorum is a group of nodes large enough to reach an agreement, whereas a quorum slice is a subset of a quorum persuaded by one specific node of an agreement. Now, as part of our DYOR risk evaluation, we are going to apply our standard DYOR risk evaluation toolkit, where we look at 13 elements, and those 13 elements are as follows. You've got decentralization, security, interoperability, scalability, project team, social media presence via Twitter as well as via disk, and then we consider the project's use cases as well as the tokenomics. So starting with Stellar's decentralization, Stellar's database is open source. No one authority controls the movement of lumens or Stellar lumens. Transactions are authorized by the community finality, and the data is stored on the blockchain and anyone can check it. However, the Stellar Foundation still control a large amount of Stellar lumens, and the use of trusted anchors makes Stellar somehow centralized to an extent. Not necessarily a bad thing, as it serves a purpose. As we can see, it's trusted by some large institutions across the globe, so it can't be that bad. When it comes to security, the Stellar network is secured using the Stellar Consensus Protocol, which is described as having four main properties, that is decentralization control, low latency, flexible trust, and asymptotic security. Through the Stellar Consensus Protocol, anyone is able to join the process of achieving consensus, and no single entity can end up with the majority of decision-making power. Stellar also runs a live bug bounty program to reward researchers who found bugs within the underlying software, with the amount of rewards on offer linked to risks associated with any findings. As far as security is concerned, with a transaction finality of between 3 to 5 seconds using the Stellar Consensus Protocol and supporting thousands of transactions per second, Stellar is among some of the fastest blockchains out there. Think of Ripple, obviously, because it's a fork of Ripple. And because Stellar uses anchors, which are trusted entities, increasing throughput is not necessarily an issue when additional capacity to issue credits is required. Now, on to interoperability. This is the ability of a project to work across its own boundaries. Stellar claims to offer interoperability as a service by using its native USDC, a fully reserved digital stablecoin which is built for payments, enabling seamless, instant, low-cost cross-border transactions. Add to that the fact that you can exchange any asset on Stellar, a strong case can be made that Stellar is designed for interoperability. To provide an overview of Stellar's tokenomics, let's first dive into some of the background history on Stellar and the Stellar Development Foundation. So, after leaving Ripple in 2013 due to internal conflicts over vision, Jed McCaleb, along with partner Joyce Kim, forked the Ripple protocol and launched the Stellar project in 2014. The Stellar Development Foundation was created in collaboration with Stripe CEO Patrick Collison. Stripe invested $3 million in seed funding and received 2 billion Stellar lumens in exchange. At launch, the network generated 100 billion XLM tokens and featured a 1% annual issuance rate. In 2015, Stellar redesigned its consensus protocol following a ledger fork in 2014 that rolled back hours of transactions. Its new and current consensus protocol, called Stellar Consensus Protocol, was developed by Stanford professor David Mezires, chief scientist of the Stellar Development Foundation. In 2017, Jed McCaleb and Britt Young launched Lightyear as a for-profit entity for Stellar that will be a universal payment network on Stellar. In 2017, Stellar announced a grants program that would award partners up to 2 million worth of lumens for project development. In October 2019, Stellar removed the 1% annual issuance rate for the Stellar protocol, stating that it was not beneficial to the project building on Stellar. In November 2019, the Stellar Development Foundation announced that it had burned more than 55 billion XLM tokens, which was approximately 55% of the maximum tokens available, as it moved away from airdrop programs. Previously, the foundation had retained 68 billion XLM earmarked for giveaways in order to grow the community. Citing a declining utility from airdrop, the Stellar Development Foundation burned 50 billion of those tokens, along with 5 billion of the 17 billion previously held in its operating fund. The ban reduced the total supply to 50 billion XLM, of which the Stellar Development Foundation's ownership of the total dropped from 85% to 60%. And while there are over 7 million addresses holding or interacting with the Stellar blockchain, just 1.3 million addresses hold balances over $1, with the number significantly reduced for those holding $100 or more worth of XLM tokens, which currently sit at just over 325,000 addresses. This could simply be due to the fact that Stellar lumens are mainly used as an intermediary currency for value transfer from one asset to another. Hence, the majority of wallets below $1 only hold residual balances after transactions have taken place. So, now on to some numbers then with reference to the tokenomics. Ticker symbol XLM, token supply 50 billion, which was originally set at 1 billion. Circulating supply at the point at which we are doing this video, 26.36 billion or 53%. Token distribution, the ecosystem support was allocated 4%, user acquisition was allocated 11.8%, use case investment 20%, direct development 23.8%, seed funding 4%, other airdrops, community and so forth 40.4%. I must also add that some of these categories, I have no idea what they represent because they are not clear enough and they don't follow the standard token distribution categories or titles from other projects. Insider token allocation, according to our own calculations, it comes up to 59.6%, which is way over our threshold. Our threshold is set at 30%. What we consider acceptable is up to 25%. Up to 30%, you can provide a leeway. Anything above that, there have to be some extenuating circumstances for us to say, okay, it's still worth investing in Stellar at this point. Now, let's move on to use cases for Stellar. Ticker symbol XLM. The XLM token is used for operational purposes. Transaction fees are also paid in XLM. The XLM token is also used as an intermediary currency where it is being used to transfer value as well as store value across borders. The Stellar blockchain itself is used by fintech firms to create platform for global currency access, compliancy, and so forth. Good example, MoneyGram. The blockchain is also used to create exchanges capable of compliant on-off ramps that grant access to local currencies. It also facilitates cross-border payments. The Stellar infrastructure can reduce friction and cost of traditional financial infrastructure. Stellar is also ideal for enabling aid organizations to deliver instant and transparent digital aid at scale. The tokenization of real-world assets is made possible with Stellar asset issuance features. Social media presence via Discord. Stellar has got just over 4,100 Discord members, and on Twitter, Stellar has got a following of over 753,400 followers. Now, onto the project team. The Stellar Foundation has got a board of directors of 5 individuals, a leadership team of at least 11, as well as 6 advisors. Overall, the global team is reported to be over 50 plus on the Stellar Development Foundation's own website, while according to LinkedIn, which provides a specific figure in terms of numbers, there are approximately 164 employees for Stellar or the Stellar Foundation. Which figure we use, that's up to you. To us, 50 plus and 164, more or less the same thing to me. Anyway, as part of our DYOR risk evaluation, like I've already said, we are going to apply our 13 elements which form part of our DYOR risk evaluation. And those 13 elements are as follows. You got decentralization, security, scaling, interoperability, project team, social media present via Twitter, social media present via Discord. We also look at the age of the project as well as the use cases, tokens issued at project launch, tokens in circulation at the point at which this video was recorded, as well as maximum tokens available before we complete the toolkit with insider token allocation. Once we've issued scores from 0 to 10, we aggregate the scores and the total is then classified under the following risk categories. Because mind you, the whole idea why we are performing this DYOR risk evaluation is to assess the risk involved with investing in any of the crypto projects we are interested in. So starting with the least risk category, we call that go for it category, and the project will have scored 110 to 130 points out of 130. The one below that, we call that potential category, and a project will have scored 90 to 109 out of 130. The third category below, we call that could go to 0 category, and a project will have scored 65 to 89 points out of 130. And the highest risk is found within the no-go category, where a project will have scored 0 to 64 points out of 130. So here are some of the scores we've allocated to Stellar. On decentralization, 2.5 points out of 10. On security, 5 points out of 10. Scaling, 10 points out of 10. Interoperability, 10 points out of 10. Project team, 10 points out of 10. Social media via Twitter, 7.5 points out of 10. Social media via Discord, 2.5 points out of 10. Age of the project, 7.5 points out of 10. Use cases, 10 points out of 10. Tokens issued at project launch, 0 points out of 10. Tokens in circulation at the point at which you are doing this video, 5 points out of 10. Maximum tokens available, 2.5 points out of 10. Insider token allocation, 0 points because it's way over our 30% threshold. So those are the scores we have allocated to Stellar. Do you guys agree? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. The aggregate score for Stellar, according to our own DYOR risk evaluation, is 72.5 points out of 130. Do you guys agree with our allocation? Let us know in the comment section. And 72.5 points out of 130 puts Stellar within the could go to 0 category, which is the most common category according to the results we've come up with across the past several months on all the projects we've looked into. Do you guys agree that Stellar could go to 0? Mind you, most crypto projects will go to 0, and Stellar is no exception. Do you guys agree with our DYOR risk evaluation review on Stellar? Let us know in the comment section. Are you holding Stellar at this moment in time? Is it a long-term hold or is it a short-term hold? Let us know in the comment section. Until next time, guys, this is FD for SafeUp.tv with your review on Stellar, one of the projects that comply to ISO 20022 standards. Until next time, guys, bye for now.